everyone, welcome to Tech Down Over, episode number 37. Wow, we're getting close to that 50 mark. That's a lot of shows. This is fun. I'm joined today by our co-host, good friend, Jeff Blanchard. Hey, Jeff, how are you?
Good, thank you. I think it's actually 36.
Is it 36? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. 36. But
anyway,
we will be at 37 next week or the week after.
Just wait until see the party we're going to have at show 50.
On show 50, yeah, but I'm not dressing like a girl again. I'm done. That's it.
No,
we did that for one show, and that was
there.
for Gina, and Gina Shriek. That was weird. But anyway, here we go. We are back. You know, Jeff, I've been thinking about putting all of our Vimeo videos. Some of them are in two places. Some of the Vimeos are at YouTube. They're older. And some of them, a large majority, is still on Vimeo. And we've been thinking of just moving them all over to YouTube, the whole kit and caboodle.
Well, I think I think you're probably best off having them in both places because I think YouTube has a bigger viewing audience. Yeah. But what I do like with Vimeo, though, it embeds better. It looks better as an embed.
You think so?
You know, the embed, it just the border and that, it just titles it much nicer. Whereas YouTube just says, name of the show and that's it. But it looks really nice and cool and does play back a bit better.
My only concern is that we diffuse the viewership, and then it's really hard to figure out how many you have here, how many you have there. You can add them, but you don't know how many you're losing because you're not at one spot or the other. If you give them one choice, then maybe they'll just go one place. I do wonder about that because you can embed YouTube. The ones I've seen didn't look too bad. I guess it depends where you're embedding it.
Well, like me, what I do in Muse, I embed it, and then I go into the HTML and just adjust the size so it goes in nicely, whereas just embedding it with...
Now, we're embedding it with the YouTube widget.
I am too with in part of it, but then there's another one where I'm embedding it just into a separate page. I want it a specific layout.
Oh,
but
right.
I still think YouTube would probably be the best one where you get definitely more views on that.
Especially if we tag it right, if we tag it with all the stuff we really talk about correctly, that's probably going to drive more viewers.
And if it's one place where you decide to concentrate it, I'm sure YouTube is the best place to concentrate efforts on there. Whereas Vimeo is great, but I think Vimeo is mainly meant for if you're doing a little documentary or just a little short. It's not meant for, I think, for just
it's not a search
home
engine.
Videos. And people
really
do that, but it's not meant for that. So.
No. And by the way, viewers are you, the people watching this show, and we appreciate you. We're talking about you in third person, but you are important. So please keep watching the show, and we will refer to you as premium viewers. How's that? But
yeah, that's good. And then when we get around to it, we're really looking forward to trying to do that live streaming on YouTube, aren't we? So
that's coming. That's going to come. I'm a little afraid of that, but it will come because I heard it's pretty good. Some people say it works occasionally. Some people say it never works. I think it works okay with vMix and Wirecast. So we'll give that a shot real soon.
And it's the sort of thing, if we're not broadcasting now, it's a good way to start doing it before people are expecting. Then you do it a few times when you don't publicize it and just see what happens.
Now, I did find something today that I kind of glanced at before but never paid attention to. In our previous show, in the Lectoral Live show today, we had a small Skype issue. Well, I think our guest, Jenny, had a small Skype issue, and she just disappeared for about a second, came back, but wasn't sure where she was because it looked like she had disconnected, but we never really lost her. It was really strange. And we had about a minute and a half talking about it and trying to figure out if everything was okay. And then after we published the video, we went into enhancements on YouTube, and there you can split. So you can split out the section that was bad, delete it, it's gone. And it automatically regenerates the video. It takes probably about a half hour, but that's really cool. It saves you having to go into Premiere, republish, re-upload. It's all done for you.
I was just going through that. I'm only about 10 minutes through Lectora Live because it just got posted before this show. But I was
you'll see a spot where there's a cut. We left the cut in so people understood what happened because she was in mid-sentence, and then we started over. But we only left about, a second, maybe even 2 at most. And just so people got a feeling for, no, we didn't have a time warp, and she just kept talking in a different dimension, so that there was a cut in there. And it happens. Skype is unpredictable at times.
And they have little things hidden in there. I didn't even notice until I was looking at it the other day that you can get rid of the watermark Skype in the top right-hand corner of the screen. So there's a little tick box that says "Don't show that."
Right.
And but there's these little things that hide around the thing. But for such a format that's free, I still think it's a fantastic.
It is.
Tool.
It's amazing. What they do is amazing.
And you can get a paid version, can't you? What does that entitle you to?
But I'm hearing there's problems with that one. So not sure. The Skype for Business, but that actually ties into your phone system, your SharePoint, and other things, which cause grief. We had Dr. Dave Lukasik on last week on Lectora Live, and he had a whole mess of problems with it. So he had to actually use his personal one and an older version to get it to work.
Hey, while you just talk about your previous shows with the Life Edge and that, you was talking to not John Steed, who was it? Colin Steed.
Colin Steed, his cousin.
Did you see that Patrick McNee died yesterday?
No. You're kidding. We were just talking about that.
Christopher Lee, they went to school together. Yes. He died the week before, and he was 93, and so was, I think, Patrick McNee just... and,
McNee looked great. He looked healthy. Oh, well.
But that's what... And he lived in Los Angeles, or California.
Did he really?
He's been living there for the past 40 years.
That could kill anybody off over here. I mean, that's a shame. I did not know that.
Yeah, but I just thought this was strange why it was all talking about it, just that, and then Christopher Lee as well a week before, and then they were sort of went to school together and were friends and that. But I suppose you do start going at the same sort of time when you reach the end, don't you? So.
I guess. Wow. Yeah, they were both 93.
Yeah, so it was just quite strange that they all came around. It came around at the same time.
Wow. Well, let's talk a little bit about tech. You've got a couple of things. What would you like to talk about today?
Well, the first thing I'll just look at really sort of in tech was I was seeing there's rumors of a new Nikon D5 camera.
Yeah, I heard about that. Do we have that one over here? Yeah, we have a screenshot of it here.
Yeah.
Now, how much is that camera going to cost, you think?
I'm not too sure, but it seems like everybody's trying to get into that 4K market, because that one was did have like the 102,000 ISO.
I know, that's insane.
That's high, and the 4K video, but there's not a huge amount on it, but a 20 megapixel sensor.
Yeah, which is more than good enough.
And the main thing I think you talked about on another one, but it was said the autofocus points, which had 173. And I think that really makes a difference for the autofocus, doesn't it? So
that's a lot of autofocus points. I mean, if you think about it, that's quite a few autofocus points. I mean, that's covering almost the whole screen at that point. I've seen the 49 focus points that Panasonic has, and you have the same one. That's a lot of focus points. It's hard to get a thing out of focus. And even on the 70D, which has 19 focus points, it looks great. So, I don't know, 100, that's a lot of focus points.
I'm just trying to think, maybe it's more the same area, but it's just a narrower point. But
maybe.
But then sometimes that can be a bit of a hassle for video, because you don't want it to pick up on everything.
No.
You know, when you focus on me, if you've got that many focus points, if just a little twig goes to the side, it might focus in on that.
Yeah.
So you don't want it to be super duper excellent, because I don't know about you, but I like to use the manual focus, but our eyes are just not good enough.
Yeah, I don't use it very often. I don't use it because
the autofocus does a far better job.
Yeah, you know what they said in all modern cameras, autofocus is usually way better than a human eye. So I don't trust my eyes, so I just tend to rely on the autofocus. More often than not, it's pretty good. We're going to do some testing probably next week and record some stuff with the 70D, with the zoom lenses, and with the 50 millimeter lens to see how well it keeps in focus as people are moving. And then we'll do that with the Panasonic too.
The thing is, I found with the autofocus, I tend to do with the manual focus, I only use that when I'm on a tripod and I want a particular effect. So if I want to focus on something and have something go past it, that it doesn't come out of focus, but it's a setup shot.
Well, you put the tracking too, right? Do you put the tracking on?
No, just say if I just want to focus in on something, just leave it there.
Oh, yeah.
And have something go out of focus in front, and that I'll just leave it there. But that's about the only time, because other than that, every time I think oh, gee, that's a lovely, quick, clear, sharp focus, I get back, it's all blurry.
I think I posted a video last night on Twitter of, what's his name? I'm not sure, I don't remember. But he's a broadcaster, a podcaster in England, and he was talking about the 70D and the different lenses and how he basically just touches the focus and then he touches it here. He touches it, and you could see the leaf here going into perfect focus. Then he touches the background. The background's not perfect, and the leaf is very blurry. It was really cool. A very nice effect what he was doing.
I've been listening to a lot last week. I think it was last week or the week before on Larry's show on the digital production buzz.
Yes.
And he had the Canon person on, and that was quite interesting. And I didn't realize it. They said that people seem to forget that Canon is a lens company that makes a camera, not a camera company that makes a lens.
Yes and no. They make both, and they do make a lot of cameras.
But he was saying but they were still saying, when people say about investing in glass, and said, well, usually a lens that somebody's bought of a Canon in 1970 will still be going strong. But if a camera that you bought in 1970, well, it's usually not going. But I suppose if it's still a film camera, it might be. But it's still quite important, the glass that you do put on it.
So what was he saying about Canon? Anything new about Canon? Any revelations?
Not anything. More so going in about their fantastic new, I think, 300 camera. The new 500. I think they've got, isn't it? The 500 or the 300's got the 4K now.
I think it was the 300.
300 on that, but they're still damn good cameras. But I've stopped looking at that because it's out of my sort of league.
Isn't it what, 14,000, 15,000? It's a lot.
They're $15,000-$20,000. But I mean, for the professional, they're getting so damn cheap. Because I remember years ago when you looked at these new cameras that had the stabilization where you could run and shoot, the reporters could run and not shake. They were $100,000, and that was just the mechanism to hold the camera.
I know, and in today's day, it's so much easier because you run and they shoot you, so you don't have that problem anymore. So it's a technological non-issue anymore.
I've also been looking this week. I know you talked about it last week, and you've got me interested. And what gets us interested is microphones, isn't it? That that Rode Link. Did you?
Yeah, it looks really good. And the guy who does the tube shooter, the British guy, have you seen him? He did a full test of it this week.
I just saw a couple of YouTubes on that this week, and it just quite impressed me.
It is.
I'm going to put my order in. I'll see somebody here, so I can get it for about $3.93.
Right when they showed that one, B&H showed another new one from Audio-Technica, which also finds its own channels, though it doesn't have the range. It only has about a 30-meter range versus 100 meters, which is quite a big difference. But it sounded really nice too. I thought the Rode sounded better, but you have to like that Rode bassy sound, which is a little bit bassier.
And I was just seeing the way they was doing. There's a few different ones on there, but there was a fella. I think he was out your way. I don't know where he was, but it looked like it around that Seabridge area. It just looked like that the area, and he was on like a Segway, and he had it on. Had the microphone on, and we just said, and I'm just going to do this test, and instead and he just went back until in the distance where you could hardly see him, but just showing, he said this is a clear shot, but he said showing how 50 meters how clear the sound was coming through.
It sounds great. I mean,
100
meters is a long ways away. People think, oh, that doesn't sound that far. Well, yeah, if you're going to be on camera, you're already pretty far at 100 meters. So
and
just
like
to hear the
said,
voice,
if that's enough, you're never going to do 100 meters if you're doing that. Not with that. If you're going to do it more than that, you have the the great thing I like with that, you can put the receiver on there on a digital recorder.
Yes.
So so you could have that somewhere a bit close in the middle somewhere. You can get further distance.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Because you can connect it. And there's also saying you can connect up, your new one that you've got for your camera. What was the new one you've got on the top of, the little dome one you've got on your camera?
Oh, the Rode VideoMic Pro X.
That's right. Yeah. You can connect that too. That works with that as well. So.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, that's right, because it has a 3.5 millimeter input.
And then also, I didn't realize, which really got me excited about it, was you can get the XLR converter for the 3.5.
Yes.
So it will plug into our Panasonics for the XLR connection.
I know. I don't think they give it to you because I didn't see it in the box, so I have to go buy it.
Why
don't they just give you it's
a
beautiful box. You pay 800 and something bucks, and they don't include a lousy $20 cable. It's like, come on, Rode. I mean, of all things, I think Rode doesn't make money on mics. They make money on micons.
Well, that's right, because that adapter was $11, which that's
here it's like $20 to $40 for those things.
It's a bit of plastic with a connection in the top.
Yeah, I'm using one right now. Here we go. But here's I don't know if you can. Oh, it's stuck on something. There we go. I am stuck on my chair.
No,
yes, we're just prisoners of our own design in this place. So, well, you know the song Hotel. Have you ever heard the song Hotel California?
Yes.
You remember it, right? Did you know that was written about Camarillo?
Oh no!
Yes, that was where we had our Camarillo State Mental Hospital. That was the Hotel California. That's why
you'll never get out.
And you can get in, but you can't get out. That was our state mental hospital, very famous mental hospital. It was actually a very good research hospital too. But yeah, when people go, wait a minute, Hotel California, that was our area. Yes. And we've actually all escaped and nobody caught us. So we're good. So this is the Micon. You know these?
Yes.
And they're good, but $20 to $40 for these. That's a little expensive. It's just an XLR adapter.
With that Rode Link, it just seemed a good value for just about under the $400 mark. But you can even use it for things like I could use it here and still plug it into the thing and not have any cables going about. But it just seemed to have the good quality about it. I liked about it. So, But also, I'm tossing up whether to get it, but I think I will get it because around about the $400, it's well worth it.
It's nice. Now, you can put one on your dog. Put it on his collar and let him run around, and you can hear what he's doing, and just pick up all the ambient sounds of what a dog lives.
all that panting and the dog and that. But what I was thinking of doing with that, because I've got the digital recorder, and that makes it much easier. You can connect it to your digital recorder and just have that sat round there, and that's the thing. And then with our Panasonic, the FZ1000, you know how damn noisy that is.
Oh yeah,
it would at least make it usable. You could even just put your a normal mic on there, I suppose, just for ambient noise rather than having the.
I do love the FZ, the FZ1000 or FZ, depending on what part of the world you're in. It's a great camera, but I think they really blew it with that noisy lens. I mean, no matter what you do, it's
so noisy. It is, and they say that it's great, the stability when you've got that on, but when you switch that stabilizer off, it's shocking.
It's just kind of like this, right?
It's like you're just standing still, and it looks like you're going up and down, up and down. You'd have to have it on, and as you said, it sounds like a percolator.
It's like the old Blazing Saddles joke. Yep. I used to be a great gunfighter. Look how stable I was. Wow. But I shoot with this hand.
That's right.
Yeah. Same thing. That's exactly what it looks like when you go. But isn't it amazing how good that stabilizer is? Because you can shoot fully extended at 400 millimeters.
Yeah.
And it barely moves. And the minute you take it off, it's like, wow, what a difference.
And I did a comparison with the XA10 and that one when I first got it. And when I was shooting with the XA10 was on the tripod and the FZ1000 was handheld.
Yeah.
But you couldn't tell the difference.
Really?
It was because all you had to do is take a steady shot, and it does that. Whereas no matter how hard you try and everything else, you see a bit of movement. But on that one, it just did keep a steady shot. So it was very amazing. Good on that one.
Now, we have something else you wanted to talk about. Is this the Adobe fiasco?
Well, what the thing was, it wasn't so much with the Adobe Creative Cloud update. There's been a bit of concern about there that there's a few plugins with the After Effects that don't work.
Well, there were problems with the installation, period. I've had to do it 3 times already, and it finally seems to have taken.
Well, one of the things, though, is people have been just clicking on Update. But there's a little fine button there that says it's by default it's going to erase all your old versions on your machine, because there's been a few versions that they've left, but they're but you might not want to upgrade, but have the new one. And you can untick it. Says leave old ones in place. And I think a lot of people have been caught out by just upgrading. And like I did, and I did it on purpose because I'm not doing it professionally all the time. So I'm not using plugins, tons of plugins for After Effects, so it's not going to affect me. But somebody whose livelihood it is, it's never, ever wise to just blindly upgrade without having your backup of your old ones while you're working on a project.
Yeah, that's always
true. Always start. Have your old one there as a backup, like me, and you know from experience, if you work on the brand new one and you haven't got a backup, you're bound to fall on your face.
Yeah,
so you've got to.
That's true.
And new things like everything. When it's a brand new thing like this one is, there's always going to be some updates. And I knew there must have been major ones. I uploaded all the Creative Cloud. And then 12 hours later, everything else was updated again.
The same here, so 3 times. It's been 3 times already.
There must have been some major flaw.
Yeah, it's been 3 times. I think they're catching problems on each one. So, yeah, it's sort of interesting. I do like the new Lightroom. I didn't like the old Lightroom interface that much on 5. I finally, I thought I upgraded to 6, but I was looking at 5 the whole time without really paying attention. And I realized, oh, wait, this is 6. 6 looks a lot nicer.
And do you know what? I was talking the other week about the haze feature in Lightroom. This picture I've got of the backdrop, I never liked that picture before because it was a bit hazy. And I took the haze out with Lightroom, and it looked really nice because I thought just because it was a sunny day and you get a bit of a haze there, but that Lightroom just took the haze out, and that's all I did to the picture. I didn't.
We were talking earlier in the pre-show. This is a bit of trivia that I didn't know, and I liked the movie, and Jeff liked it and seen it several times. Was it Knowing?
Knowing, yes.
The movie with
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage, and he is the father of the kid who has special powers. Or can see things, but anyway, Knowing is an end of time movie, when the end of the earth, basically. But I never realized they're supposed to be in either New York or Boston, because there's one part they're going into subways and all this kind of stuff. But it is actually filmed right where you're looking right now, right in Melbourne, and that is a shot that he took right out of that movie.
Well, that's my particular shot, but that's exactly the same position they did in the movie, because I'd watched the film a few times, and then I was just watching it last Saturday, and I thought, hang on. And I don't know if you can see on my picture, but there's a train in the back corner, and I thought, I saw this train going across the same bridge. I thought, it's the same color as our trains.
Yeah.
And then, hang on, it is our, but it was supposed to be Boston, I think, but I did pick up, I saw in the background behind where I am, there's a roadway there, and I was watching the traffic in the film, and the traffic was going on the wrong side of the road for America. So I thought the wall was going from on the left-hand side. So I thought it was the continuity person never picked that up, did they?
No, that's amazing. It's amazing nobody got. I never caught it, and you caught it after the 3rd time.
Yeah, the 3rd time I watched it, and I didn't realize. And then I watched the credits all to the end, and then it says, filmed. They must have had a few scenes in Boston and New York because they had a Boston crew.
That's right.
But it said filmed in Melbourne. It said on there. But after I had that suspicion, I kept seeing things I knew. But
well, they filmed.
I didn't even realize.
Now I didn't notice this either, but they filmed that Superman movie several years ago in Australia as well. I think that may have been somewhere near the outback. It was in the middle of nowhere, it looked like. But I don't know if they had any. I didn't see the whole movie, so I don't know if they had any city scenes and how they worked around that, because it was all filmed 100% in Australia.
Well, we've got a whole lot of nothing out here. There's a huge, huge lot of nothing to hide in the deserts, and so there's plenty of places to hide. But I believe a lot of, because people, moviegoers are getting smart these days. Every time you see a helicopter coming over the Korean hills like you do in Mashi, you know it's a Hollywood Hills.
Oh, how funny.
It's all Universal Studios. People are onto that, so it's quite good to have something that people don't recognize. And I think when they come to Australia, it's not the sort of thing that people have seen, that cityscape and it's much easier than doing all the CGI. Just bring people here and film a different location.
And today you can see a lot of shows that are filmed in Vancouver, British Columbia. And it's funny because you recognize the buildings and go, wait a minute, I know what that is. That's Vancouver. And Vancouver's got a beautiful skyline and beautiful buildings. You've been there. It's very pretty.
Yes.
And it's always in the movies or TV shows, especially TV shows. So it's just sort of interesting how, Hollywood isn't as big as it used to be in terms of movie productions because they charge so much here for everything. So they're going to other states and other countries where it's a lot cheaper.
Well, I think what's got the idea and they got a bit of a kick-off here was, remember years ago they had the strike in Hollywood?
Yes. Yeah, the
nobody
writers'
was
strike.
doing anything. Well, they came here, a lot of them, because they could come here and do it. But
Yep. Now, we're also going to talk about,
what was that? One thing I was just going to have on there as well with, you was talking about, I think with your guest there about blogging, and I was the same saying as you that I struggle. I thought I tried it. I thought I'm going to try this and keep it up, and you really need to do at least once a week to keep it up. And it's just so hard. So what I thought I'm going to do, I quite often do notes for this show, and I thought, well, I'm going to turn that into a bit of a blog each week.
that was a good idea.
And then I thought I'm going to put that onto my site because I thought this is pretty much a weekly blog as well, isn't it? So I thought if I can put that in, just our little notes and things that we do speak about and things that we may not speak about as well. But I thought that might make it a little bit easier if I can refer people back to that as well. So
now, did you get my invite to the RelateCast's Facebook page?
I did.
You did? Okay,
so
good.
I've just got to still got to figure out how to work that. I like all these getting invited, but I'm always scared if I mess things up. So I always take it very carefully.
Just go for it. Just
Well, it's just going to show you as well. You know how we've been looking at. I know you've done your website and with a lot of the nice scrolling on there. And I just came across something on.
And by the way, that was Muse themes we used.
Sorry?
That was Muse themes. We got our subscription last week, and we got a subscription, and we used Muse themes for that one. They seem. I'm beginning to agree with you that Muse themes might be better than the Muse Grid themes. They're not bad, but you can't search on Muse Grid. You can search on Muse themes.
That's right, and you can get a lot on them. I just had a look at. There was. I think this is the one. So I think. Hang on, just go to my screen. I think this is the one. Let's see if it's there. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
This is when you look for an iMac on the Apple site. This is the screen that comes up. But when you scroll down, I just think it's.
Oh, that's kind of
really cool. Yeah, and then when you scroll back up, but that's where you get to first for the 5K display. It goes like that, and then you just scroll down, and it.
That's a very cool effect.
Isn't it? That's really great with the parallax.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I just thought they're the sort of things and I even noticed on your site when you scroll down and then the text comes in really nicely.
What do you think
really
they did
made
that
a big difference in really engaging for people.
What do you think they did that in?
Muse, was it?
You think it was Muse?
Yes. Yeah, I think it was. Well, I don't know, but it looks because that's just a normal parallax scrolling by the looks of it that brings things in. So, but then again, maybe with Apple, they've got millions of dollars. They might just have some whiz kid with
that's true.
Dreamweaver, because let's face it, Muse is just an easy way of getting into Dreamweaver. But if you know the code and you do that, it's much easier for somebody who does know it
or who has an enormous amount of time to waste.
Yeah, and can do it, but for people like me and you, it's like going from what was it? Word Perfect when you used to
Right.
have to do the control
Yep.
commands to make it bold
I
in the
remember
front
that.
and bold afterwards, and then you had to print it out to see what you got.
Yes. Yeah.
It's,
Though
oh no, I meant to
I
have
did
that
like
all bold
Word.
and underlined.
The Word
And
Perfect
you had
wasn't
to
bad.
Sorry.
Word Perfect wasn't too bad though, and then it got a little bit better so that you could do the characters, but you didn't see them; they were hidden, and it was it was pretty cool. Now we had another
like
thing
people-
on Cover. Want to show?
Oh,
it?
Cover. That was was another one that I liked. There was there's just a few little sites that's coming up, but this one supplies you with a whole heap of little videos that you can put onto your websites.
Oh, right,
So
right.
like a background one on there. So
Yeah.
if you're back onto me now, so on there I've got like they've even them on their site. That's what their front screen showing now is a live shot of Cover there.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
they've got, and then they've got a whole heap of different ones that you can go into, and I thought that's really quite good for some people who you don't want to buy a subscription to go to all these different ones. Where like Video Blocks is great; it's got a lot on them.
Yes.
But if you just want to have a go at it, and they're royalty free, and you don't have to pay anything, and you can use them in commercially as well. They say so.
Yeah.
But I still always wonder. I suppose it's all to do with advertising because there's a lot of links
Right.
in there that take you to other paying sites that you can go and get onto. But I thought that's just quite a good idea, just for people, getting started in that. So.
Yeah.
And I've also this week was talking to you, I think, about my Galaxy Note 4. I've upgraded it to Lollipop.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to look on the net to see, wanted to investigate all the extra features, but I haven't been able to find anything really fantastic.
No.
Is there anything?
Actually, there isn't, and the memory management is really rather screwed up. So they did some stuff that just messed it up. If you're trying to have multiple applications open, when I had my 4, I had to close out a lot of the apps before because they were just messing each other up. Now I have the LG G4. And I already have a problem with it. After 3 weeks, my screen is acting up pretty weird, where half the screen shows up sometimes, then it goes away, then half shows up. When you're swiping, you get half of the next screen, and then 2 to 30 seconds later, it catches up. And you go, ooh, that's not good. Now, it hasn't done it to me in about 3 days, but it was doing it to me for about 3 days. So I don't know if it was, maybe it's something got fixed because there's automatic updates that happen and it fixed it, but they're rushing phones out. Everybody's got a really quick delivery timeline, and there's a lot of things you can do with a phone when you swipe, when you pinch, when you tap, and something wasn't working right. And I'm not the only one. They said they're estimating maybe 50% of the phones had some issue. Now I may take it back and return it. I just hate having to set up a new one. It takes hours and days to do this.
Yeah. And I noticed on mine, I was looking at the things, and I liked the updated phone dialer that they did have, but then they also had the notifications on the lock screen.
Now, see, I hate their dialers because I hate white dialers or gray dialers. They're hard to read outside and, frankly, inside. So I switched mine to X dialer.
That's well, I was going to ask you because I know you did have a nicer dialer one that you could see much better.
Can you see that one? Here, let me get into my shot. Maybe we'll see a little bit better.
Oh, yes. Well, I can see it from here, even going on the small shot. I can see the dialer through that. Yeah, so I can see that even through my little Skype screen. It looks excellent, that one, doesn't it?
It's dark, and you can make it light. You can do anything you want. You can change almost anything in this dialer. And it's a very clean one. The only problem is once I make a call, then it goes to this really yucky, unreadable LG dialer.
Oh.
So it's like, So I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I can change that.
They had the notifications update that came along on the locked screen, and I was really impressed with that at first. And then when I was listening to a podcast, I usually open the phone that made me Cover, then it shows you the podcast and you can pause it.
Yes.
You don't have to unlock the phone.
Okay.
You can't do that anymore. All the notifications are in the front.
I know. It's irritating. I don't like the notifications in the front. I can turn them off on my phone.
Switch it off.
Well, I can turn them off on mine, but they don't seem to go off. So haven't quite figured out how to turn them off.
I haven't tried. I haven't edited that long, so I'll give that a try to see if
there's a little checkbox I think
that
says "Don't show them," but it doesn't seem to work. So I don't know. Did we have one more thing here?
Yeah. Well, what there was only one thing that we didn't talk about that I just did have on my list. I was seeing with great interest with some of the European laws that they're looking at with as far as photography goes.
They're crazy.
They're looking at introducing things where you will not be able to film, like national monuments and that, or things that are copyrighted, like the London Wheel.
Now, how stupid is that? I mean, did you ever read 1984 by Orwell?
I didn't.
It's a highly depressing book. And we are getting there. We're getting very close to 1984, and the people are just going, isn't that great? As we lose every privilege, every freedom, every ability to take a picture. You can't take a picture of a police station nowadays or a policeman. Oh, that's considered terrorist. It's like, what can you do? They're breaking laws. Things that are illegal are becoming legal. So it's crazy.
And I mean, a lot of the time, if you're just taking pictures, well, they're still going to terrorize you anyway, whether they've taken your picture or not.
I know. So it's just crazy. And I say, rather than harass the whole population, why don't you quit letting people in if they are the ones causing problems? But that would make common sense. But so anyway.
But you can understand why people, like I always feel funny taking pictures because people react so funnily, not so because of themselves, but because the society told you people shouldn't be taking pictures of you.
See, but you can get away with it because you can just say, "Pardon me."
Yeah, pardon.
Let's go. Well, what did you just do? I took your picture. I'm Agent 0012.
But I do find, though,
he must be.
That's one of the things I like with the FZ1000 is people are more accepting for taking pictures, you don't care, than video.
Interesting.
But with the FZ1000, you can take a picture and a video.
And they won't know it.
But like if you're standing there with a video camera, people really get upset. I don't know why, but it just seemed to be a bit. They think a still picture's nowhere near as damning as a video moving picture of them doing something. But,
I know, and that's why everybody's using smaller cameras.
All the stuff I take, all the videos and all, I don't show people doing wrong things or horrible things. I don't edit out the things because I think people don't want to see that, and you don't want to go looking for trouble anyway, do you? And you do ask if if people go, I'm going to thump you. Well, whether it's legal or not, you just don't do it, do you?
No, and you have to be discreet.
It might be legal, but if somebody's going.
See, I like taking pictures of crowds and people and walking, but. Or not even pictures, but film. But you have to do it discreetly. Otherwise, people are thinking, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And that's why I like the smaller cameras, because you can literally just be sitting there. It's on your lap, and you're taking video. And it's great for street, what they call street video or street photography. I really enjoy that. I think that's fun. I like taking pictures of cars, and I know you do the same thing. And like you said, and if you look like a photographer, then they don't hassle you because they go, oh, you must be a professional. So I think there's a little bit of that, or but it is funny how people overreact to everything, and of course you have to be careful. There are crazy people out there too with cameras. So, but it is fun to go out there and take a lot of different things.
Well, the thing is, if around my neck and that, there'll be places that you can't do that. But every man and his dog can come in with their iPhone.
Yes, I know.
And do just the same. They don't seem to think that's a problem. Well, that's not a problem. They can see, yep, they're filming. Yeah. But if I get my Canon out, click, oh, you can't do that, sir.
Yes.
But you can do it with your phone.
Right. Well, with your phone, you just do this. You sit there with the phone and go, excuse me, you can't take a picture here. It's a selfie. And they go, oh, okay, no problem there. Yeah, do your selfie. It's okay. How would they know?
But I quite often do with my camera. I'll sit it down on a bench, just film without just looking at the monitor, because if you've got it up to your eye, people know you're doing it. But just sit it down, film something, just leave it there. And they're the sort of good shots. Put it on the ground and see some feet shot walking around, and that I always like doing.
Or you hang a
like
little GoPro on your chest or put on your forehead and just walk around. Nobody will catch the forehead. In California, they just go, what? It's my communicator to the spaceship. We're okay.
Like they've got got some in Sammy's, real good quality ones, about $3.99. Those sunglasses with the good quality digital camera.
Oh, really?
I thought,
Have you,
but you can get cheap $50 ones, but they've got a good set for about $400. But it's with a good digital camera in there, so you can just look.
That's interesting.
But then when they've got to get implants into it, so you can just record a chip into your head and just pop out.
Oh, I'm sure somebody will pop out their eye and put in a new eye and just have a little camera. I've got my Nikon i1000.
You say you're winking at me. He said, "No, I'm just taking a picture." every time you wink, it takes a picture, and then you blink, and then that starts the video. You see.
Well, that reminds me of the old joke of the guy sitting in a restaurant, and he's looking at this beautiful woman sitting about 5 feet from him with a man, and he's just sitting there going. He had a nervous tick, and he just kept doing this, and eventually the guy gets up and goes, "Are you messing with my woman?" He goes, No, I have a nervous tick. And he goes, "Oh, that must be horrible." And he goes, "Yes, but you know how many I get this way?" Anyway. It's a bad old joke.
That's what.
It's part of our.
Yes,
it's Tech Joke Friday.
Well, that's right. So, what we call those ones here, dad jokes.
Dad jokes,
the ones that only
I told
dads
this
can
one.
get away
I told
with
this
saying.
one on the show earlier. Not this show, but the Life Edge, and it's still one of my favorite. I don't know. It's just the stupidest joke, but I got it from Alexa from the Amazon Echo, and I said, "Alexa, tell me a joke," and she goes, "Why did the bubble gum cross the road?" Because it got stuck on the chicken's foot.
Oh.
And I just started laughing.
So
it's so bad it was funny. But anyway.
It's just so bad, isn't it? So,
But Alexa's got a ton of jokes. He asks jokes. She's got all sorts of them. So it's sort of funny. And they're usually corny, and but they're cute. So... Well, I didn't have too much this week, but next week I'll have a lot more. Next week we're actually off. So for all the people watching, unless we can do a show earlier, if you want to do early morning, it's up to you. If you want to do an early morning on your Friday, by Thursday we could do a show. If that works for you. If not, we'll do it the following week.
I think we'll do following week because on the Friday, it'll be Thursday, that'd be a work day for me, so I'll be at work already. So
sounds good. But anyway, well, more tech to come. There are a lot of products coming out. There's some interesting stuff, so we'll have more to talk about next week. And as always, how's your Yamaha doing?
It's great. The Tyros 5, I just enjoy it so much. Every time I can just get stuck into it, and some of the sounds that come out is just fantastic. So
now, what microphone do you use?
Do
you use a specific mic with it?
I do. It's a Shure. Is it a 58?
You have one of those. So you're using the dynamic one.
Yes, that's right, and it's a real good one. And I was just saying about Larry before, and Larry sort of changed up the format a bit on the digital production buzz, and he's got a little tech segment, and he did a microphone comparison with that one and a whole lot of other ones, and that one sort of picked out as one of the better sounding ones.
You know, the SM58's been around for over, I don't know how many years, 30 years, maybe more. It's been the standard. You can scream into it, and it won't blow it out. It's just an amazing little microphone.
I saw another one where they did a test with that one and a few others in the same sort of style of microphones. And there's 3 tests that they had to do. I can't remember. One was sort of the singing on it. The other one was talking, I think, and the third one was hammering a nail in. And it won on all counts because I said, "What?" They said, "Well, nobody else will do this on a review." So
oh, that's funny.
It was hitting a nail with all these ones, which would work better with it. And I thought,
"Oh gosh!" Well, the bill you've seen
sure
the bill,
I'm surely I'm not going to do.
You know, we used to have 2 SM58s, and I think we gave them away at one point. I don't know why. We should have kept them. And one of these days we'll buy one again just to have, because it is a weapon.
And they're only cheap.
They're like $60, maybe they're $90, something like that.
Here it was $48.95 or something. So
I think it's called the A58, or Alpha 58. It's a Shure, I want to say 58 Alpha. It's a brand new one, and it's a whole new line. They're cheaper. They're about only $60 versus the 58 by itself. The SM58 is, I think, about 90 or 98. So it's sort of interesting. The new line sounds good. It's very powerful too. I'm not sure what the differences are between the new and the older one, but except for price. So, and Shure does make good mics, especially on the singing mics.
I must admit, I like the Rode and the Shure seem to be my two favorite mics. There's plenty of others out there that are really great too, but I mean, you can only afford so much. So I thought I'm sticking with those two at the moment. So.
Yeah, and I've had some of the other ones, and they're good, but I think I stick pretty much with the Rode. I've got two Shures, except for the wireless. We have a Shure wireless too, but I've been happy with the Rode. I have the Neumann. It's okay. I have the TLM 102, I think. It's nice. You have to have the right preamp for it. And then the other thing is, as you're probably finding out, not all mics sound as good on the same equipment.
No,
there are
because
differences.
The Neumann, by the sounds of it, it sounds excellent if you've got a proper sealed, soundproof room done to exactly the way you want it. It's perfect.
Then
but
perfect.
Anything else, it doesn't sound very good.
No, it sounds like you're in an echo chamber. It's very sensitive. Now the Rodes are great. I've been using the OSP HS09 on the show, but I'm tempted to go back to this baby.
The Procaster.
I feel like a dentist pulling down a drill.
Yes.
But the Procaster is a great one. Yeah, I could tell people. Now I could do this. Now I should do this for about a week and see if anybody notices there's no wire on it.
Well, talk to Dawn. She did that, didn't she?
Oh, Dawn did that and was convinced she was using the mic.
It wasn't connected because I'd let you know. I said that mic you've given her.
Or I could just sit there like this with my finger.
It's not connected.
You think this will work? My finger in the back like that?
That's right. Just say it's one of these new ones. It's these. To see, yes, I'll just plug in a bit here. So I did notice on the RelateCast site you've used that as your microphone of choice for your background. It just happened to
be up there, so we took a picture and there it was. It's a really pretty mic. Nice. It looks like a combat-ready mic.
Yeah, it does look nice as well. But as I said, I do like the Rodes because there's a lot of them. They've got different performance sounds for. It's great for this because it doesn't pick up a lot of the noise outside of this.
Now there
whereas all the other ones for voiceovers, you need a bit more delicate sound.
Yeah, and there are some very good Rode mics. I really want to buy one of their dynamic mics because they're used a lot in music and stuff, and they look good. They're about $300-400. They look beautiful. Just that, not now. I've just spent too much, so. But those look great, and I just want to see what does a Rode mic sound like when it's dynamic and you can really scream into it. Well, this is dynamic, but it's not a singing mic.
No, that's right. So, but even that was like that Shure one. Yeah, that's quite good when it's with just a normal dynamic because you don't want that for singing into it. You don't want it to be too overpowering.
No, this is a vocal mic, but it's a narration. It's a podcasting mic. It's good for talking and stuff like that, but for singing. I don't think it has the range or the SPL to really pick up singing correctly. I've tried a little bit; it wasn't that good. And I'm talking, not screaming, but just singing. It's a different tone, so you want to get the right kind of mic so that when you sing, it sounds rich and yet doesn't sound hard. Because some of the dynamics can be very hard.
And you can see the Rode do quite a good. DVD they send out that you can get offline showing their microphones with a professional singer.
Oh yes,
and just there in the studio, and she just sounds so good on it. So it's a good demonstration, really good just to listen to a singer, even if you're not interested in a mic.
Yeah, and then of course you get it and you sing it and you go, didn't sound as good.
That's right. Yeah, that's the thing. Well, she sounded really great. I sound rubbish. I said, "Yeah, that's not the microphone. That is you." So.
Yeah. Can you send me the singer with the mic, please? Thank you.
That's right. So, but then again, there's as I said, with all the technology about my new Tyros, it has the feature that it makes you sound half acceptable anyway. So.
Well, they do the nice compression and limiting. Plus, they add a little bit of extra to the voice. So people always sound better when you sing in a mic. It's pretty noticeable, especially if you have good preamps and all that. It just makes a big difference.
But I still find with all the technology, it makes you sing on key better.
Yes, it does.
It does. It make because the harmonies go off, and you've got to adjust so it makes it nice properly.
Yeah,
and it really does make you sing better. It does make your normal sing better. But what really brings you down to earth? You do everything. You just switch off and do the bypass and just do through, and you go, oh god, that's me. That is horrible. But switch it back on. Switch it back on.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, Jeff, another show and another week, and we'll be back in 2 weeks after the July 4th holiday out here, and we'll probably have lots of tech by then because I'm going to be amassing some stuff. You'll have some stuff. We'll have a Technobaloo, or whatever you want to call it. We'll have a fun tech show. A lot of stuff.
I might have my new road link by then if I decide to get it. I'm sure.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why I say I'm thinking about it. You're thinking about it. I'm going to get it. It's just when do I press that button?
Now, you actually can get road mics cheaper over there, right?
Well, it's actually $393, which is it's $399 at B&H.
So not much.
$393 here, so it's cheaper here because if I buy it $399 American, that'd be about $470 or something. So
with the shipping too.
In the shipping there, whereas they'll cost. I can pick it up here, but even shipping $12, for about $414. I've got that with the converter as well for the XLR.
Great. That's not bad.
So I thought that's not too bad. So I like that for the convenience rather than having to go into the city to pick it up anyway. So
that's true. Alrighty, Jeff. Well, you have a great week. Have a good holiday, and wish your mom for us a very happy birthday.
I shall do.
88.
88.
A young 88. That's good for her. So we wish her the best, and we'll see you next week. Actually, in 2 weeks. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Maybe I'll give you a call next week, and we can just talk off the record.
Yes.
Anyway, well, have a good one, everyone. If you're watching the show, thanks for being there, and please subscribe. That way, we know you're there, and you'll get notifications whenever the show comes out. And please visit our new website, which is www.relatecast.com. But wait about a day or two because we're still fixing things. Anyway, have a good one, everyone. Bye, Jeff.
Bye for now.